Hello, everybody. My name is Alejandro Ortiz. I'm here with my one of my many co-hosts, Nathan,
Hey,
and this is a random gamers corner. So, welcome to the show, and for the podcast listeners, well, welcome to the podcast. Nathan, I want you to close your eyes and think about something right here.
okay.
Okay, you're sitting in your room, relaxing, watching some random movie that you really loved, something that you always been wanting to see. Then suddenly you got a random ass text. And then you look at it. You look at it and you're seeing all these messages saying like, "Oh yeah, you gotta pay $20 for the streaming service." Another one, $25 for a streaming service. Another one, $15, and it keeps going on and on until like you got like eight notifications, and all you know now is that that paycheck you were working for is just going by as soon as it came. And then you just realize that the movie you're watching was also like a little rental, and you want to buy it. That's also, well, you can't buy it because it's a streaming service, and you pay $30 for that little premiere of that movie. Now you're fucked.
Hang on. I hope I can open my eyes now because I am. Are you talking? What service are you dissing right now? Are you talking about? Are you talking about Disney Plus with that
Many,
dragon?
just talk about many, and the
Oh,
future stuff that could happen.
okay. I see where
But
you're getting at.
how are you feeling? Were you just feeling like full of anxiety? Like, goddamn, like where is this coming to?
I mean, I don't know where the like what do you call it? My paycheck being gone all of a sudden, unless you're saying there's so many ads that, it's like you're not
No,
even
streaming
watching, like it
services.
takes twice as long. Because I've actually noticed that with YouTube. I'll watch 10-minute videos, right? Like a
Right.
series of 10-minute videos, and I'll get like 3 or 4 ads, like every 2.5 minutes or something. And I'm like, that's annoying. That's so annoying to be sitting there, like, because a lot of times, I'll sit there, like I'll be doing something, and I'll have YouTube playing because I like a little bit of background noise. I feel weird about just like, like dead quiet.
Right.
So I leave like these videos playing in the background, and then I'm all like invested, like, oh yeah, half of me's listening into whatever, and then half of me's doing whatever else I'm doing, and then I get an ad. It's time for Raid Shadow Legends or whatever. It's not always Raid, but it's Raid a lot.
Yeah.
Um, it takes you out of it a lot, and it gets me really irritated. It makes me think that if I were ever a YouTuber, I would probably not allow ads on my videos. I would just do merch only. I wouldn't want to sell out like that. I'd want my people to be able to watch uninterrupted. I mean, I don't know. Uh,
I
that's
feel
how
that.
I feel as far as like, you mentioning the paycheck and stuff. Like, because you already have to pay for the
I was about to
service.
explain about that.
Yeah, I was like, huh.
No, I'm
Um,
not talking about like ads. No, I'm talking about like all the stream, like having so many streaming services to pay for, and they all hit you out.
oh, I see what
Yeah,
you're
not
saying.
ads. I mean, shit. Like if we were to live in that time, I think YouTube would be dead.
I feel so. You're talking like Netflix on top of Hulu, on top of Disney Plus. Well, I know Disney Plus has Hulu like included, or at least I think there's like a
It's
bundle.
like a
But
bundle
anyways,
plan.
just just like multiple streaming services like piled onto one another to watch whatever it is you want to watch.
Right. Like,
Okay, I see what you're saying.
imagine like all that hitting you at once, and you're just thinking like, God damn, there goes half of the paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like to an extent the appeal about TV, because there is an appeal. It's very small though. Like the appeal about streaming services is in theory you can watch whatever it is you want to watch. They'll have like your lineup, that I think most people um they consider what Netflix has to offer, and then they'll be like, if there's good stuff on Netflix that they want to watch, then they'll pay for it. And if there's nothing they really care for, then they'll stop, they'll leave. Um I think that TV, the problem with it though, okay, let me tell you what I think TV has done well in the past
All
before
right.
I tell you like what I think is wrong with it. I think in the past it's been like you pay, maybe it's like, I don't know how much, like, cable was kind of irrelevant by the time I was like grown up enough to even like pay bills like that. But let's say you pay, I don't know, $60 a month for cable, because that's a lot more than like most of them are like 19.99 a month, right? Like $20 somewhere in the ballpark, somewhere around there.
Right.
Streaming services. But let's say you pay $60 a month for cable. You have so many channels with so many different things to watch. Now the problem with that is, or the benefit is, like, that's better than Disney. Let's say, because you have Disney Channel, you have like three. There's three different Disney channels. You have Nickelodeon. There's like two or three different Nickelodeons. There's Cartoon Network. All these channels and stuff you could possibly want to watch. That's pretty good in terms of like variety. The only
Yeah.
problem is you don't get to pick when you want to watch it. Those shows are only available at some times. Or you can get a DVR, but that cost more. That adds to your bill. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. Hmm. I mean, that's complicated because TV kind of sounds like cool in that respect that you get to watch everything. You don't have to pay for multiple different services. Uh, but the services are better because you can watch whatever you want whenever you want. I mean, provided it's in their lineup and whatever. And I think honestly, if you got like three streaming services, that would be as much as cable, and you don't quite get as much, at least in some cases. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
terms of variety, because some people just like to watch all kinds of different shit. Um, Me personally, I watch Netflix sparingly, and I only watch like I watch like a series at a time. To be honest with you, I think the last time I watched Netflix was like months ago. I watched The Witcher, I watched You, and then I watched Sonic X, and I was like, okay, this has nothing for me. I was done with it. Um, that's me personally in terms of like the utility of it though. Like longevity wise, I don't feel like streaming services. Well, that's why they have like their series and stuff. Like Netflix has their own stuff, and Disney's doing The Mandalorian. They want to keep people invested
Right.
because obviously you'll get bored with Disney Plus if you're just watching the Aristocats like 5 times a day. That'll drive anyone crazy, and they won't want to pay for that anymore.
Except fanatics. I mean,
Uh,
there's those people.
there are those people, definitely. I know people who like, oh, this one lady, Alex, she scared me. I'm not sure if you knew her name. She went to our school. Her name was Brittany, and I
Sounds
started
familiar.
I started following her on Instagram, right? Thinking that she's just a normal person. No. Every single day, she's either at Disneyland or posting like some Disney related like plushie she got or like some keychain, something. It was very concerning. I was like, okay, I think she might have a mental something. I don't know. Like
Session?
yeah. And I was like, okay, I like Disney. I like Disney a lot. I really love going to Disneyland. The atmosphere, the ambiance, that's something you can't get anywhere else. But I'm, that just kind of freaked me out a little bit. Um, there are people out there for sure, but I think Disney has that appeal. I don't think Hulu or Netflix really have that same. I can't imagine a Netflix fanatic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, unless they got Netflix merchandise like going around like crazy, then that's
Just a
kind of crazy
big
itself.
ass red N. Netflix and chill. Did Netflix ever market that? Like, because they should have. They should have marketed that.
I don't
Netflix
think
and
so,
chill.
but unless they made it into a joke at one point on their Twitter, I wouldn't doubt it. But if they didn't, then that's probably most likely a missed opportunity, of course.
Yeah, I
But
was just gonna say that. Yeah.
knowing how some company Twitters are or Twitter accounts are,
Yeah.
they'll most likely be trying to play vague or don't act as they act like they don't know any better, saying like, "Hey, Netflix is chill, man. Like we just like sleep in bed while watching a movie. Like you guys know
Yeah.
it."
Okay. Because that's what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that so weird how companies kind of try to stay out of touch like that? Like it's purposeful, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's a scheme. I don't understand it, but I know they're doing it and it's really weird.
I don't know. I guess they're trying to play like, oh, what's it called? I don't know. I think it's just their way of trying to be playful or just trying to stay like brand friendly, even though like well, at least for Netflix, like most of their stuff is just going dark.
Right.
Like, and along with the fact like some of their stuff have been causing up some controversy as well, but we're not going into that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's just that a lot of streaming platform. Okay, I'm gonna say some positives. It is cool to have some variety. Like they have all these different kind of platforms that have variety for like everyone. Like you all got their own niches. Like everyone got like some. If they want to see something new, they can go on this like Amazon Prime, Amazon Plus. I don't know what the heck they call it.
Whatever it's called, Amazon streaming.
Yeah, Netflix, and then there's like Paramount Plus now,
Hmm.
and so on and so forth. So like there's something for everybody. And then another plus is that I guess it would be considered cheap to just like get everything, have a lot of just have multiple things available at once, especially for a parent to just like put, all right, put the shit on, just like let the kid watch it. Like, who cares if the kid like goes into something else like they're not supposed to see because like it's supposedly childproof or just parental controls enabled stuff like that just to make things easier. So I see the appeal in that as well. For anything else, I don't know. Like for its time, it was pretty good. But after a while, there are some of the negative things that I start to notice. Like over time, I noticed that they are raising their prices for some things, not automatically, but just only like just like $1, maybe even two. And
Hmm.
over time, that shit will be building up. Like you won't notice it.
Right,
And for
subtly,
some
it'll go
people,
from 19.99 to like 27.99 over the course of. Yeah, I feel you.
yeah, like some people won't. For some people, they may say like, okay, I gotta stop. Like, there's no point in like trying to keep this service. Might as well take it off as soon as it ran its course. Like at least for the payment plan. And then there will be people who will be like, oh, well, it's fine. I mean, what's a couple more dollars? Cause I don't know. I guess like at first it was such a low price. Over time, it's rising up in such a small way that they can care less about it until it's actually affecting them later on for any payments. So imagine like multiple streaming platforms doing that at the same time, or at least taking like one at a turn. I'm not
Hmm.
sure if they can do that, but they can. And soon enough, like you be kind of like screwing yourself over by accident,
Hmm.
because some people will forget to like turn off their plan after a while. Another negative to them is sometimes they will be saying like, "Oh, we have these things available," but later on, like soon enough, they will be taking those things away, and it's only a matter of time before like one of your favorite shows has been gone, and you feel like, how the hell we're supposed to like get to that show now until like another streaming service pops up, and now they take it, and now you're like, okay, should I just switch plan or should I keep both? I don't know, because there's all that mental gymnastics like some people have to do to just
Hmm.
like just to even like maybe for us like maybe something simple to like oh just switch over to this or might as well just buy the show itself. I mean on DVD of course.
I mean, it's not that simple for everyone, though. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like for others, it could be like a bit of a hassle to just think like, okay, but I love the shows on this, but the love I showed the show or movie I love the most is on this, and there's still not available on DVD to buy, which is the suckiest part. So
Hmm.
you gotta switch over to that thing now. So now like you have to like buy something else to well pretty much enjoy whatever entertainment you like,
Hmm.
which really does suck. And I could sympathize with that because now, oh boy, I'm like paying for like different streaming services and it freaking sucks. So I think there was like one last thing. Well, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes the negatives outweigh the positive, especially when time progresses.
Hmm.
Because what I've been doing for the past couple months, well, since last year. Also, anyone hearing my voice like shiver a lot, I'm sorry. It's just really cold over here.
It is.
California is cold right now.
Yeah, I mean, what some people might not realize about California is like it's sunny most of the time and stuff, but it gets pretty cold here too. Like it was snowing here a little bit earlier. It wasn't like sticking to the ground, but it was snowing a little bit. So I mean, it gets pretty cold.
It really does, surprisingly. But continue. Wow, I feel so much better. But continuing where I left off from, what I've been doing since last year was now I'm starting to like buy movies or shows digitally. digitally now,
Hmm.
and even like whenever I see like a good sale on random stores like Fye, like for the entertainment,
Hmm.
or even Barnes and Noble, like they got some good stuff, like as long as it's on sale. And sometimes just random stores will have like some good deals on those kind of things. So I'm trying to like buy more of those and things that I know my family will enjoy. So that way there will be a point where whatever streaming services that we watch can no longer provide us something new
Hmm.
or stuff that we already have that's available to watch anytime we like without having to pay extra because, well, I already paid for it, and there's no point to still have that service around.
Yeah, I feel you.
Especially when, yeah, like I believe you mentioned earlier, like saying like, oh, finish the show, that's it, you're done, or finish watching these movies and such, and that's it, you're done
Hmm.
with service. Take, delete it, or yeah, cancel the plan. And that's what I'm trying to do now. But that's what I've been doing just to get more and more movies, get more stuff off of, well, the Microsoft Store, and
Right.
eventually not to rely on streaming services anymore. Because sure, the movies or shows that I maybe watching, maybe buying, maybe a bit more costly than the streaming service plan at the current moment. But
Hmm.
over time, I'll already be settled.
Right.
I don't have to be like paying constantly every month for like another for until the service is like, well,
Yeah, and then if
they-
they take it off too or whatever, then it's not your problem anymore. You have it. You own it.
exactly. And I just find it great. Like I think at a point, Netflix may be something that I could take off my plan because, well, my sisters are not like watching it as much as they used to on
Hmm.
because now I got some movies that they love watching and thank God they like to watch repeatedly.
Hmm.
So there's that. And even my dad is like interested in the movies that I buy because, well, we both have similar tastes. Like, well, just like action, anything like that, I
Hmm.
can settle. And he is also like love watching the same stuff. So that's a great thing. My mom, she loves Netflix or Hulu because, well, they always got something new, somewhat. So still gotta keep those. But I know at some point Disney Plus may be taken off if um if I can buy more movies to just like enjoy off of the time because my girl loves Disney Plus
Hmm.
as well. It's like has like a lot of Disney stuff like available. So
Right.
I don't blame her because it's great because it's great to be able to watch the stuff that you love watching as a kid.
No, definitely.
Yeah, but one thing I love about the okay, I swear there's not an ad for the Microsoft Store or Microsoft in general, but just buying because sometimes they have deals and there's like Disney deals, horror movie deals, such stuff like that. And if I'm able to buy that stuff and be able to watch it in my own time, well, I mean I can watch it in my own time at Disney Plus as well. But if I'm able to watch it without having to like pay a service for it, then that's great. That's wonderful. And I don't have to worry about like the whole Disney Vault thing. Like I keep hearing about it, but I don't really see it that much where they have stuff available, but then they take stuff out
Hmm.
or keep it exclusive for the time being. Like I
Well,
kind of thought, huh?
I was just gonna say, I think that was more in like that was more of a thing back in the day because growing up, we were like young enough to we were making the transition from like VHS to what do you call it to DVD, right? And so it would be every 10 years or so they'd release like um say like the Jungle Book or something. I guess every 10 years they'd be like, "Hey, I think the idea is that by that time you'll have grown up enough from like when you were let's say like anywhere from like 9 to 10 years old. 10 years pass, you have a kid who's now like 3. I don't know. I think this is the idea. I don't know. I could be wrong. But
Mhm.
10 years later, they're like, "Oh, here's the Jungle Book again. Here's, whatever." And like it makes sense kind of. It gave it like oh, you can only get it now kind of thing. You know what I mean? But as streaming and stuff becomes more popular, I don't think it matters so much anymore. I think It's all on there for you, so I really don't think it matters. I mean, people that are buying things like physical copies, they're kind of falling by the wayside, to be honest. And I'm one of them, so I'm slacking.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad.
That's why I'm kind of like doing half digital, half physical,
Yeah.
just so like in case some of these things like break or no longer work, at least I got the digital stuff that is still available after years, decades, whatever. Like I don't know how the landscape will change over time with
Right, right.
services because you never know. And still, the Disney Vault thing, I think just the possibility, just that even like a small possibility, is still a possibility.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
definitely.
is why like just the idea that some companies or whatever could make movies like no longer be available to the public or anything like that is always gonna like kind of like bothers the hell out of me. Cause why? Like why monopolize those type of movies and why make people I don't know panic buy it or something like that?
No, I feel you.
Because it's a good strategy. Like make these movies like be available for the time being, and then one day be like, oh, we're gonna like get rid of this, so buy now, and people are gonna buy like crazy. And it's just like the Nintendo recently like everyone's like making a meme about it right now that Mario will supposedly die when Nintendo will take away the 3-in-1 game for Super Mario.
Oh, hell no. They've been innovating since like for a long time. They'll come back. I mean, you have all these people that bought Odyssey by itself, you know what I mean? Like, and Odyssey was great. So I mean, and Galaxy 2, I mean, they have avenues to go. Mario will be fine. He ain't going anywhere. Sonic, on the other hand, I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. But Mario's fine. Mario's in the game.
Well, yeah, but I heard there was a game in the past, I forgot which one, but Nintendo did make a game no longer be available. Even though it was like out for like a couple of days. I was thinking like, what the hell? Like that's crazy.
Was that Cooking Mama? Cooking Mama,
No, but I think
because there was
it
a
was
lot of
moved.
controversy. Yeah, there was a
Yeah, there was
lot.
moved because I think it was like it went out without a license or proper licensing. So I
Yeah, or
they
like
had
it
to
was
remove it.
split up to the wrong person, or it was disputed. Like yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it came back because I saw it in Best Buy. I was like, hey, might as well buy it right now because who knows, like if it's gonna be gone again.
Right.
But no, there was like another it was only available for like a certain amount of time. I was trying to look it up right now, but
Hmm.
yeah, that's why I had that mindset that things could happen like that for movies where they could be out for a certain amount of time before they just take it away from people.
Oh well, I mean, I think it's in their terms of service. Like I know Microsoft is like that. Like it's really convenient to buy like digital downloads and stuff.
Yeah,
You don't have to like find storage for them. You don't have to like constantly put a disk in and out. Like it's really easy. You can uninstall and reinstall it later without any hassle. But in their terms of service, like they basically, I mean, they do reserve the right to discontinue it at any time. Like you might think I own these games, but not really. I mean, especially as it becomes more online based too. I mean, you have certain games um, that have different offline features. Like, okay, take for example, like the Wii, right? The Wii and anything before the Wii, you play it, and even the Xbox 360 and the PS4 to an extent. PS4? PS3. PS3 to an extent.
yeah,
Yeah, I get confused with like what generation it was Xbox One versus PlayStation 4. Okay, anyway, like you have the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the Wii, and you can play all those games if you physically own them. You can play them forever. There's never going to be there's nothing that's going to happen if you don't if you don't you can't like have the disc and not play it. But a lot of these games they're like exclusively online, or you need to be connected online to play. So they could shut down your game at any time. Like that game Evolve. You remember Evolve, all the hype around that? Um
yeah. I heard about that.
yeah, the monster game. I have it, but not everyone has it and not everyone can get it. Well, anyone can get it kind of. It's like it's so weird because I don't remember what happened. I don't remember the story. There's a lot of drama with that game too. But
Yeah, there was.
basically, yeah, you can't buy it anymore, not digitally anyway. You cannot acquire it digitally. Um, you can buy a disc, and you can play with your friends. You can set up like a local lobby, not local, like online, but with your friends only. But you can't play online with it anymore. Um, it is what it is. I mean, they can just shut down games um, at their convenience if they want to or not for whatever reason. I mean, it's in their terms of services. It's really weird, you know.
It is. That's I don't know, because that's why I like having movies digitally, but sometimes it does make you think like shit, like will there be a time when this won't be available? That's why I do try to get some physical movies just in
Hmm.
case like some crazy event happen. And yeah, I mean even like for online digital games, it's convenient, but at the same time, I'm just thinking you never know. You just never know when it could, because
No, it's true.
like that Cyberpunk drama, like when PlayStation like made it unavailable on their system to buy it, like they let the people who have it keep it, but for the ones who still haven't bought it, they just like removed it off of the online
Yeah, that's
service.
that's exactly how it is with Evolve. I mean, no one cares about Evolve, so it's not a big deal. But like yeah, it's like that. It
Right.
can happen. It has happened in the past, even.
That's why it's kind of like you just gotta be cautious now, like this very digital age now.
Yeah, you just
Okay.
have to be aware that it's not necessarily a guarantee that you will just because you buy it doesn't necessarily mean you have it forever. You might have it for 20, 30 years, but not 50. It's really, I don't know. It's weird. It's complicated. Yeah, I feel you.
Hmm.
That's
And
why I try to stick to like physical copies. Otherwise, I get nervous, but that's just me.
we live in a fucking age of paranoia, even by accident.
Yeah, honestly. The things that shouldn't really be giving us we shouldn't have to think like, oh, if I buy a product in okay, it's like imagine getting like digital toilet cleaner or something. Like I don't know, but it's like imagine this concept like stretched out because it's ridiculous, right? It's
Hmm.
like you buy a product like toilet cleaner or toilet paper. Digitally doesn't matter, whatever. You own it. I mean, obviously like as soon as like well, that's a bad example because like you can use up the toilet paper and you can use up okay, you buy a broom because I'm looking at a broom in my room right
Okay.
now. You buy a broom and you own that broom forever. You might break it. Something might happen. It might be a bad broom later down the line, because the bristles get all like messed up as they age and stuff as you use them. But you own that broom. You can take that broom to the grave if you want to, because that is your broom. But, would it make sense to buy a movie or, a show, a series of seasons or something that you might not actually be able to own. You might not even be able to like watch it or anything later down the line. It's really weird. It's a really weird thing to think about.
Right. Like sometimes you feel like it's just part of a collection,
Yeah.
which is fun, which is like a bit of a funny idea because there are some movies that are in my unwatched collection still.
Hmm.
So, little word to the wise: get the movie if you know you're gonna be actually gonna be watching it.
That's how I am with books. I have a whole bookshelf of just bunch
Oh,
of books. And
that's what.
I'm gonna read them one day, and like I've told myself I have to read them before I can go back to Barnes and Noble because I'll find like one really good book that just like hooks me, and I'm like, oh, what if there's another? Oh, gotta find that next great book. But no, I need to finish like I don't own tons of books like myself. My dad has a lot. I don't own a lot, but I need to finish them to before I can go get more. I'm like that with books a lot. Movies, I keep them if I know I will watch them again, like later down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Lego movie. Hell yeah. Uh,
I still haven't watched it.
Really?
I know some people will be mad about that, but I haven't watched it. One day, maybe. Oh boy, that's
We
a
should
freaking
try. We
that's a
should.
phrase for me.
We should. We should do a podcast where like we watch it. Like I'm not sure how we would do this. but like we would record and like screen share, and like I could play it, and then we could watch it, and it would
Yeah,
be there for people to see, like a reaction sort of thing.
that'd be kind of cool.
I think it would be cool. I think we should, because if you haven't seen the Lego Movie, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a classic. If you haven't, I don't know.
You feel sad for me, don't you?
I don't feel sad for you. I just feel like, how have you not seen it?
Well, it's quite easy. You just miss out on it, and it just happens.
You just don't ever watch it, and there it is.
I mean, it's kind of funny, like how people could like ask some things, like how can you do this? And I was just like, I just do it, or I just don't do it. Like earlier today, like my girl like asked me like, how can you eat eggs like sunny side up? And I was saying like, well, you see, I get my fork, I put it in my mouth, I start chewing.
Do you want a really obvious answer, like, oh, how? Or how can't you? It's like, well, it's really simple. Yeah, I kind of hate that too. Like,
I don't mind her asking though.
how have you? Okay, like something that I haven't seen. I haven't seen like a lot of the popular stuff because I'm apparently a hipster. I don't like getting into, but I'm like even a hipster to the hipsters, because all the hipsters have similar interests, but I don't. I'm like, if there's a group, I don't want it. Like, I haven't seen Tiger King. That's a big deal. A lot of people like freak out about it. And they're like, oh my God, how have you not seen Tiger King? And I'm like, I mean, if you generalize the movie, it's just a gay guy who likes tigers. And they're like, oh, there's so much more to it than that. I'm like, well, leave me alone. I just don't want to. I don't know. Leave me alone. I don't like getting into things that everyone else has gone into, right? Like Game of Thrones, as an example, because I haven't seen that either. What weirds me out about it, it's like it's not even the story aspect, because I feel like Game of Thrones, I'd probably really dig the story going on. I haven't read the books either. But the thing okay, here's how I feel personally. It's like with Game of Thrones, just as an example, there are sex scenes in there, and that's fine. I'm an adult. People are adults. Some people aren't adults, but that's okay. Like,
Yes.
I mean, it's just that's the matter of, it just is what it is. What weirds me out is thinking that, maybe like 85% of Americans, I'm not sure if that's accurate, but let's say 85% of them have watched Game of Thrones. Maybe 5% saw the sex scene and they were like, nope, and they fast forwarded it, because there's a lot of it in Game of Thrones.
I don't doubt it. I heard a lot of people talk about it. I'm like, what
So
else is
like,
there going on?
it's like if you and the entire country watched porn together, because that's kind of my thinking with Game of Thrones. It's like so many people have seen it. It's not even really like, I don't know. It's just weird. I can't get behind it.
They overhype it.
Well, I'm not gonna say they overhyped. I don't know, but too many people get involved into too many things. It's like, I just don't like getting into what everyone else is into. Within like, there's some things I think everyone likes for a reason.
Right.
Like you give something a try and you're like, okay, that's really good. Super Smash Brothers is an example. Most people are like, hell yeah, because I mean, that game's super fun. Like, even if you're bad at it, you can have fun. You just turn items on and then everyone's having a blast, just boop, like Pokeballs. It's chaos, like,
It is.
yeah. So, I mean, that's me personally, though. I mean,
No, I get it. I mean, I watched Tiger King, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not missing out on that much. Like, it's pretty much like what you said, except like, there's like always like some kind of twist or turn, or most of all, like he just wanted to freaking kill Carol Baskin and all that shit. And I was just thinking like, y'all kind of like overhyped this, because once you like simplify it enough, like it ain't the biggest thing in the whole freaking world at that point.
yeah. Gay man likes tigers, M. Night Shyamalan plot twists. It's pretty simple. But
What?
yeah, but I don't know. That's just how did I diverge into talking about all that though? What were we talking about initially?
I have no idea.
Because we were talking about like, oh, how could you not see this? How could you not? Yeah. That's how we got here.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, that does bring a good point though.
Hmm.
What you just said right now. it does bring the point like how some streaming platforms could like bring attention to to their platform, of course,
Hmm.
by having movies that make people talk like that. Like they don't hype up some show or hype up some movie. They just put it out there and just hope that people will hype it up
Hmm.
just to make them make others like it's a word of mouth thing to like go watch
Yeah, which
go
it's still the
platform.
best way to get word out is word of mouth, you know? So, I mean,
Yeah, just like watch the show, watch the movie, and like bam, like it's easy stuff like that to do. And I'm just thinking like, it's smart to like still have some kind of strategies to make people watch their stuff. But
yeah.
after a while, like I think it only appeals to some people who are just like, look, I've seen a lot in my time. Like you cannot get me that excited like before.
Hmm.
And sometimes I feel like that occurs to me sometimes. Like, what? Trust me, like I'm probably not gonna enjoy this as much as you do because
Yeah.
it probably doesn't match like some of my certain taste,
Hmm.
or it's just that it's something that you're really enthusiastic about. Like maybe if I read the books, maybe I'd be more enthused or something like that
Right, right.
to like read to watch Game of Thrones. Maybe if I follow the certain actors or certain actresses, I'll be more motivated to watch their movies. Like I think there's another thing because some platforms will also rely on some of their actors or actresses
Hmm.
to like make people watch the stuff on their platforms more and more.
Right,
Like
right.
Kiernan Shipka, like the girl that's like on the live action Sabrina the Teenage Witch on Netflix, and then now that she's doing multiple movies on that platform, I'm just thinking more people will want to watch stuff on there because of her.
Yeah.
And that's also why I feel like it's another smart thing to do as well.
You know, I've always thought that's really weird, though, to be honest with you, because, like, you get someone who's really popular, a really good actor. Like, off the top of my head, like Michael Cera, Jonah Hill, Leonardo DiCaprio, um, Brad Pitt, um, what's his name? I can't remember the Scientologist guy, the guy from Greece. Anyway, I can't remember his name, but like all these people, they've been in a bunch of movies, or like Samuel L. Jackson, because he's been in a lot. I think he has the record. Maybe not though. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what's that one guy's name? Who I can't remember their names. Okay, but like you get these high profile actors and actresses, and they've all been in the same movie over and over again. Not like the same movie, but like multiple movies. You know what I mean? And you see them like five, six, seven, eight, nine, however many times. And I
Yeah.
think it's a little like unrealistic to be like, hey, this guy, okay, Titanic and The Wolf of Wall Street. Leonardo DiCaprio is two completely different people, right? On top of the world in certain respects, I suppose, but two completely different people. I guess I understand it every now and then, but then you throw in everything else he's been in as well. He's been in The Great Gatsby, in that one movie, The Reverend. You know, like all
Uh,
these, or maybe that's not the one with the bear. I don't know if
yeah,
that's
that's the
what
one.
it's called. Okay, yeah, but he's been in all these movies, and like, no diss to him. I love Leonardo DiCaprio as an actor, but like I think Hollywood, they oversaturate the market with, their actors and actresses. It's always the same faces, behind the character. You know what I mean?
I get
Truthfully,
it. I get it.
yeah, I wanted to start a movie studio, like, and I wanted to just have random people that you've never heard of before. Maybe like, you'd have like maybe like a Brad Pitt or something, just like to kind of like help them out. You need some star power, maybe to help bring out the inner talent in them. To give them like a good person to work with. But by and by, I wanted to be like, okay, listen, son, or lady, like whoever. Um,
Right?
you will be in this one movie or like one series, if you have like a series of movies, but like you will be in this one movie, this one series, then you will never work for me again because we're trying to make you a star and we're trying to make more. I think that'd be really cool because it just kind of breaks my immersion when I'm like, oh, it's Brad Pitt again, or, oh,
Rock is
I
flying
th-
a gorilla. Oh,
Yeah.
no, he's taming gorilla. My
Oh,
bad.
it's Kevin Hart again? Yeah. But I mean some people are just typecast. Like Kevin Hart, I feel like he's typecast. Obviously,
Yeah,
he's
the
the
short
guy. Yeah,
black.
he's the short guy who's like he has a complex, everyone's making fun of him for being short. He's pretty funny. I mean, that's all he really plays. That's kind of his personality. Not really. I mean, he's a really cool guy, but
No, like
you know,
after a while, I was like getting kind of like I can't even laugh at most of his jokes as before, and plus like I just don't like him as a person as well, because like him cheating on his wife thing, I was thinking like, damn, I can't really laugh at your jokes the same way again. Like you made a joke about your wife like being suspicious of you, and then like here you are actually proving one of her questionings. Like, oh damn.
I've heard that's the thing that cheaters do. They'll try to project that, like say they're cheating or something, then they'll project that insecurity onto you. So the kind of like I don't know why. Maybe they feel bad. Maybe I don't. I'm not a
It's like
psychologist.
mental shit. Like just to like, relieve the guilt off of them, or like just to avoid the
Redirect it.
reality.
I don't know. Yeah,
Cheers are fucking weird. Fuck them.
yeah. Anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think you know who I really think got screwed over? Will Smith. I feel so bad for him. He loves Jada so much, and I'm just like, man, I don't know, man. That kind of scares me. Ever think about that? Like you ever love someone as much as Will Smith loves Jada, and like she's just like, I don't like you anymore. I'm like, what? We got kids. It's too late. Yeah, I don't know, man. It scares me. It really does. It
I
scares me to
know,
think
like
about that.
it's the crazy shit like that. Like, oh man, like everything looks so perfect or such like that, and then like, oh, we divorced like 2 years ago. Like, how do you people not know? Like, what?
Yeah,
Or something like that.
I don't know, man. It's poor guys, but
Oh no, it's not shading. It's an entanglement, as she proclaimed.
right.
Oh, poor Will Smith.
I don't know, man. I mean, cause I don't know. It
It's
is
not
what it
our
is.
business. Like at this point, I, I'm just hoping for the best that it doesn't happen to me. Though I trust my girl.
No, I feel you, dude. I was talking about it with someone the other day. Oh, I remember who. I can't say who, just in
It's
case, like,
okay. Just
I
give a fake name.
yeah, with Brenda and Brenda. Yeah, that's totally the fake name. I was talking with a friend of mine, and I was like, because how did that happen? How'd that okay, anyways, we were just talking and somehow cheating came up. And I was like, oh, because she'd mentioned I don't have good standing with a lot of my exes. She's like, I don't think you really liked them in hindsight. And I was like, no, I liked them. They cheated on me. I was like, I don't want to go and naming people and throwing shade because they might be listening, but this girl cheated. This girl cheated. This girl thought she wasn't cheating, then she cheated. Last girl, okay. Last girl was fine. But a couple of other ones
All right.
scarred me, bro. But
I feel that. I feel
yeah,
like. Yeah.
it is an awful feeling. If I don't know.
I cannot trust again. Oh no.
Pretty much you're broken for like a little while, you know what I mean? Like honestly, you're sitting there like doubting yourself and you're wondering like, "Oh, is cheating just normal? Is it fine if I cheat then? Like what's going on?" Then you come to your senses. Then you're like, "Nah, I can't hurt this lady that I'm talking to. That would break her heart."
Yeah.
Uh
Also,
but
weird shit. I'm not sure if it's like a weird thing, but like some friends give like the worst advice. So like, oh, why don't you just like get back in the swing of things? Like right after a day of like after breakup, or
you know what
like
you need?
always
You need
like
to go on Tinder. I'm like, bro, I'm crying every night. I can't talk to girls right now. Like,
right, or oh, go to a club or go to a party or stuff like that. Like, man, I just want to like self heal. Like, what the fuck are you talking about going to a party? What the fuck
I
is
just want to lay in bed and, eat some Sour Punch straws and watch some Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and that's my healing process. Just no, you know what my healing movies are? I have no idea why. Lord of
what?
the Rings. I watch the Lord of the Rings when I'm like going through some shit
Huh.
because I feel like they're so long, and my issue is like I don't like that period before you fall asleep because then you can start thinking about things, you know? So
Yeah.
when I'm like hurting on the inside, I'm just occupied. I'm like that kind of person who's waking up super early or late, going to bed super late. I'm just staying up constantly. Lord of the Rings movies, they're all 3 hours at least. So I mean, you know, I can start watching it thinking I'm gonna finish it, and then maybe like 2 hours in, I get tired and I fall asleep. Then I wake up, I can do it again. You know, that's 3 nights of just being able to watch movies without thinking, because thinking is the problem for me in those times. You know,
Thinking is a fucking hassle.
yeah, it can be, bro. I remember. Okay, I
That,
know we're getting kind of off topic, but I guess it's just the nature of like when it's just us two, we're pretty chatty with one another. You know, we
and
got
plus,
that.
it's the nature of the podcast. Like, it's our brand now at this point. Like, it's randomness plus some shenanigans. Like,
Yeah, it's just getting off task all the time. But yeah, okay. So you remember when I was dating Bridget. I don't care that I name drop her, cause fuck her. But okay, so when no, I didn't break up with her. When she broke up with me because she cheated on me. Um, what happened was I was like having dreams where you know, I would kind of like engage her like confrontationally, or she'd start yelling at me or I'd start yelling at her, and I'd be like, imagine being heartbroken when you go to sleep and then like while you sleep too. That's awful, you know what I mean?
oh,
So I remember I was like super just sleep deprived, or like my sleep was all over the place, and my cousin was like, "Oh, you can take a melatonin." And I was like, "Well, I might." He's like, "Well, the only thing is it can give you weird dreams." I was like, "I'm already having weird dreams.
oh,
I
fuck.
can't take melatonin. I'm having nightmares about talking to this lady, you know, like I mean, it's tough. It gets real tough when you're dealing with that stuff."
Um, some sometimes, yeah, sometimes breakups are just freaking hard.
Hmm.
But hey, sometimes it gives you gotta give yourself time, and also gotta like talk to yourself, like try to like realize yourself as well to just like move on with your life and find some, hopefully lead on to something better.
It gets better over time, definitely.
Yes.
One of my
Just
friends, the same friend that I was having this conversation with, she recently, we're kind of sort of in the same boat to an extent. She was in a like serious committed relationship with someone,
mhm.
and then eventually she was like, according to her, like this guy was like, you know, kind of verbally abusive to her and kind of like made her suppress who she was, and she didn't realize it while it was happening, of course, or maybe she did, but it's just it happens sometimes, you know. That's
Yeah.
is just the way that it happens to some people.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And she snapped out of it, and she was like, you know what, I'm putting my foot down, this and that. Like she was thinking about marrying the guy, this and that, and they broke up like recently, you know. So I was like, wow, you know, that's crazy. But she was talking about feeling this like this freedom, like when you rediscover yourself, especially if you get out of a bad situation. You know what I mean?
It's
Um,
great. It's a great feeling, like getting
yeah,
that
it.
situation.
I was like, you know, because we were talking about it, like that feeling. It's kind of hard to put into words, but to me, I said it's like, you know, I'm feeling the same way to an extent. Like I didn't have like a bad breakup with my last girlfriend. I mean, I did, in that like all breakups are bad, some worse than others. You know, I was heartbroken, but everything like we're fine now. We're still friends. You know, all that stuff. But like um, I was like, it's like looking. Okay, it's like looking into the future, right? And you know, there's like this vision of the person you want to be, the person who you've considered like, oh, I've made it with my life. You have your ideal you. You're looking to the future, and that person, he's like staring back at you, or she, if you're a girl, you know, whatever. They're staring back at you, and they're like, hey, come on. You're like right there, come on. It's so cool. That's like the way that I can describe it. You know, that feeling of freedom and rediscovering yourself. It's like you fall in love with yourself in a way, because I mean, it's you. You know what I mean? Like you have to love yourself, and you start to see like it's just so cool, like, you know, it's a
It's a good thing way to put it though. Like in order to like love again, you have to love yourself as well. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like that's such a cliche, but at the same time,
it's
i
fucking
i
true.
I feel like a lot of cliches are actually truisms. Like, it's old people, wise people trying to tell us for our sake, hey, and like tell us this lesson that it took them a long time to learn, and we're like, we're like, fuck you, and then we start to see later down the line. I
Mhm.
mean, I think there's some lessons we just have to learn for ourselves. Um, you know, like, oh, your first love isn't really your first love. I mean, for some people, sure, maybe. But for most of us, your first love isn't really your first love. You're not going to make it. You're like, yeah, right, mom, as you're like 13,
Right.
And then you break up 2 weeks later because she's like, oh, I did it as a joke or whatever. Not that happened to me. I'm just saying, like,
I-
I know you're like, yeah,
like that
no.
sounds hurtful.
Well, because
Damn.
that's how, like, I was just thinking in terms of like middle school and stuff, because that's how they do sometimes. It's like, oh, what? Why did you date me? They don't know. They don't know why they like you. You don't know why you like them.
It's a major red flag. Like if you okay, like just imagine like asking the person that is dating your friend and such, and then like you decide just randomly ask like, so what do you and my friend have in common or something like that, or whatever a sibling or whatever, like
Right?
what do you have in common with them, and they don't know. That's a big ass red
They're
sign.
like,
It's like
they're just sitting
like
there.
if anybody's like watching or listening to this, ask yourself like, do you have a lot in common with this person? And you ask them, okay, just for the ones that are like dating someone, like if they're dating you and you ask them, well, I'm assuming yeah, like you ask them like, so what do we have in common? Like, what do you see us having in common? And they give you like a big fat, I don't know, dump their ass. Like, you should know something at that point, especially if it's been like, okay, at least a couple months or so, but like not like just after a day. Well, actually, no. If after a day you don't know what the heck you got in common, that's kind of a bit of a concern as well. Sorry. I mean, I'm just an old dude here, I'm 23. Like, I got some knowledge in my head,
I
somewhat.
don't. I don't necessarily think it has to do with having things in common. I feel like people who are different can get along as well. I feel like
Oh yeah.
certain things
Um.
you do, like, I feel like you have to have the same values to an extent. Like, I feel like if religion is important to you, and say you're like a devout Catholic, and your partner is a radical atheist, who is like peeing on Bibles or something, because I don't know what they do, but like, just if you guys have like two clashing ideologies and you're both stubborn people, might not be, but like, there's definitely differences. There's people, it can work out. You don't have to have things in common per se, or all that. You don't have to have everything in common is
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm
no.
trying to
I
get at.
mean, like, I guess just like some of the central stuff is what's important, like to have in common. Like, if you have a lot of differences, but just have like those values that you really cherish, and like you both have something in common with that, then that's perfectly great. Like,
Hmm.
this is you don't have to be like as you said, like you don't have to be like exactly the same. Just actually, if being exactly the same would be kind of weird, but just just
Yeah,
having like differences yet still have something in value with each other, like to have in common with that would be amazing. I mean, that
yeah.
is amazing. So yeah,
Damn. Yeah, I'm just like, damn, we're getting in there.
we're getting
Hmm.
profound here.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, ask yourself this: like, are you happy? Like, for anyone listening, like, God, damn, I'm miserable.
I no, I was shaking my head too. I was like, I'm thinking about stuff, and I'm like, oh, Nate, you silly goose. Like, but I realized I started like, you're like, are you really happy? And I'm over here like, just looking off,
I'm
like
sorry,
in
Nathan.
1,000 yard stare, and I'm like, no, that wasn't the case. I'm in Nate land now, just in my head.
Like I'm like the voice, like echoing in the way, saying like, Nate, are you happy? It's like, God, damn, like, why you ruin my world?
Seriously, bro.
Yeah,
Ah.
it's the funniest shit, but yeah, streaming platforms like don't don't you love where you can go with this podcast? Just like
I
I
know,
don't
guys.
know.
You,
Like
you come you
it's
come
a
for the
beautiful
streaming
market.
services. We say our piece, and then you're like, let's hear what these guys got to say about love and whatnot.
Yeah, like everyone's thinking like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? And then they're also like thinking like, God damn, this hurts me in a different way. I don't know why with that voice. I don't know why I thought with that voice. But
Hey,
anyways,
man, that's how you imagine them thinking. It's okay. Where that's just your like internal like other people voice.
yeah, for pets though, they got like the bad voices. Even Bella, she's laying down, but she's in a blanket, so
I
yeah.
don't know how like I imagine my dog speaking. One of them is really stupid. I don't think he'd be able to. I think if he were like capable of speaking, he'd be like I don't know. I think he'd be a mute. I don't know. Although he tries to be talkative. He'll like he'll make like he makes noises like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he knows we speak a different language. Like he knows that hey, they are talking in their own dialect or something, their own like I feel like he's trying to speak English to us or
Oh,
to
right.
try to express himself as we do without actually having the capability of. So he just makes a bunch of noises. That's what I think.
Yeah, dogs are smart. They just some of them are kind of dumb, but they're smart and they can know what could be going on at
I think
at some
yeah,
points.
they're highly emotionally like intelligent, you know what I mean? They might not be like, "Oh, they might not get math so well, but or object permanence in some respect. But I think they're aware of when like if you're feeling sad or if you're feeling like whatever it is you're feeling. Or my dogs like to cuddle. I swear, they when it gets late, they'll come up to me and they'll just bother me. They want me to go to bed and just
Right.
lay there, even if I'm not sleeping. They just want me to be in bed. You know what I mean? So
I get that.
animals are really cool.
They really are. Parrots are just kind of crazy because they can actually talk back.
Yeah,
Good morning. Fuck you, fuck.
yeah. Fuck you. That's
Uh,
what I want to do. No, I don't. I don't want birds. I love birds, but I have a theory, and I don't know that I should say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't care that you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Uh, no, I think from what I've noticed, there's this really interesting trend with people I know who have birds. It seems, I've met people who have birds or like people whose parents have birds, right?
mhm.
All throughout like my childhood growing up. It seems like the people whose parents have birds are unhappy with one another. Like they just seem like to have bad marriages for some reason. You
Really?
go, yeah, you go over and there's like, oh, my dad has his birds or my mom has her birds, and they're just arguing all the time. They fucking hate each other, and I'm like, I wonder if it's the damn birds, if they're just like doing bird shit, making bird noises and like getting irritating. You know what I mean?
Oh wow,
Because
crazy.
say you have one person who really likes birds and isn't really bothered by them making noise, and you have one person who doesn't like birds so much, you know? I mean, that'll quickly become a problem, you know?
Yeah, sounds like it.
All the chirps and whatnot. I mean, I don't know. So I think birds make unhappy marriages. So I'm not getting birds ever. I think they're cool to look at, but I don't think they're cool to have. Maybe if you rescue a bird, that's fine. As long as the bird flies away and doesn't live at your house in the cage. I mean, I don't know. That's what I've seen. I kind of feel like birds create disturbances in households. I feel like they're not made to be in a cage.
I'll
I
keep
don't know.
that in
They
mind.
they give off bad energy. I don't know, dude.
I'm gonna keep that in mind for the future.
Think back, like honestly, Alex, think back to all the people you know who've had birds and think back to their parents, if they even had like both parents, because I realize not everyone does. Um,
There's
think
not this
back,
town.
not in that town for sure, but think back to it. Uh, or like even if they don't have both, what was their parent relationship like? Was it like fuck that guy, or was it like was it fine? I don't know.
I don't know that many people in the first place, Nathan. I'm sorry. Out here.
Dang.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Go meet some people and ask them if they have birds and ask them about their parents' relationship.
I just So I just say like, hi Daily Eye neighbor, like, do you have birds and are you divorced? So like, how's that going for you?
Do you have birds? Yeah. Oh, cool. So do you hate your wife? What? You're just sitting there smiling at him, like, go on, like, come on, I need to know. I don't know. If you people listening feel so inclined, uh, tell us your experiences with birds. Like, if you have birds, do your parents hate each other? You know, I need to know. It's for science. I think it's a real thing.
Okay, for the audio listeners, send in a voicemail, and if for the people watching on YouTube, comment down below if you think that's true or not,
I
or
need to
there's
know.
some correlation. It
It
doesn't even have
definitely.
to be your own parents. It could be like someone else's parents.
Yeah,
Or
if you know someone who like who has birds and they have an unhappy marriage, just let us know because we need to know. I need further evidence to support my theory.
This is serious stuff, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, after a while, like, you may think we're joking around, but like, I sometimes no, I do take Nathan serious with the stuff he says because sometimes there are some weird ass correlations that he just points out. Like, goddamn, like, how do you keep thinking of this stuff?
I get things. I get things. It's true.
Fucking birds.
Yes, I don't know.
Now let's just fly into a segue. Oh, that's terrible. But let's just fly into a segue of how do you feel about those damn premieres of $30 on Disney or like on any streaming service at this point? Like like I know it's on the Xbox Microsoft Store. Like they offer the new movies and like here's the premiere like or like here's the opening movie and like the price is like $20 or 30. I'm like, why though?
That's
Tell me your
bullshit. Because I mean, like, you go to a movie theater, and at least like a lot of them here, you know, around where you live, because that's where I have most of my experience. A
Mhm.
lot of them, it's like $7 to watch a movie. I mean, obviously, like you buy the inflated snacks if you choose to, you know, if you want to support them. I mean, most people buy like a large popcorn, that's it, maybe a soda too. They bring their own candy, bring their own like whatever snacks. But like you buy most of the money they make, like the movie theaters and stuff, it's based on concessions. It's not really the price of the theater or the price of like the ticket or whatever. But you do pay to watch the movie for $7. You know, somewhere around there. I mean, so why should I have to pay 30? I can understand to an extent
Right.
that movie theaters get the majority of their money through concessions. So, that said, you might be able to like make the claim that, you know, they're kind of undervaluing the price of admission, you know, to get you in the seat because they know you're going to buy snacks and stuff. And with that logic, you can think, oh, well, maybe we can inflate the price of the of like watching this movie a little bit. Maybe $10. I'd say $10 is reasonable. If you like
Like,
the movie, you know, if you're interested enough, I'd say $10. There's worse things to throw money away for, you know. There's worse things you can spend $10 on for sure. Um, but yeah, $30 is outrageous, especially for like a lot of movies aren't even 2 hours. A lot of them are like an hour and a half, an hour 40. You
mhm.
know, I mean, it's just a lot of the animation ones anyway. I don't think it's I don't know. It's totally money hungry. They want the moolah. You know what I mean? They don't care about and because I mean the good thing is, I will say, if there's anything to take from it, I mean it's like Mulan costs $30, right? And
Oh, yeah.
the new like that one dragon movie, it cost $30. I don't remember what it was called.
Raya and the Last Dragon. I
Hmm.
watched it.
We watched. Oh, did you like it?
Personally, I liked it. Some people, well, most likely say their piece like they don't like it, but personally, I just found the animation fucking beautiful.
Right.
Funny thing is, I watched it with my girlfriend, and I didn't know that it was a premiere thing. I was saying like, who paid for this? But I'm not gonna like
Who pays
ask.
for that? You're
I'm
just-
not ask. I'm not gonna ask her like whether her or her family. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm enjoying the movie. Fuck it. I'm having a good time with her. Like, why ruin the moment?
Well,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
for
true.
Mulan, I was like thinking like, okay, Mulan, I really had no interest, but I still watched it with her because I love her,
Mhm.
and I just wanted to see if it was actually good. 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, something like that.
Yeah, I
It
like
is.
the way like you weren't like, oh, dog shit, but you're like, yeah, 3. Yeah, I don't know. It's
It
it's
then
just funny.
but then it went to 2 out of 10, considering like no 1 out of 10 because it had involvement locate recording and concentration camps. I was like 1 out of 10. Like Disney, you done fucked up. Like you should have known better than this.
Hey man, I mean it is what it is, but yeah, I think they're just at least it's consistent. At least it's not like, oh, this is Mulan, so you're gonna pay 50. Like it's at least it's staying the same across the board. It seems to be. I just don't understand why, because I understand. Okay, because movies like they don't even make. Okay, movies if they're like big movies, they make a lot of money, but you think they spend a lot of money to make that movie also. So that being said, the profit margin it's not that big. You know what I mean? Um, hang on, Alex. Because it was like breaking. Yeah, it was breaking. So Dad told me to wrap it up.
Okay, keep it down.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Okay. Don't get your laundry.
I won't.
Hey.
Say hello to my mother, everyone. I'm so glad we're not like a live like people are just listening like Joe Rogan, you know how it's kind of like you can go and watch it live. I'm so glad we're not that.
Yeah,
That'll
like
be strange.
at least by the time that it is out, like we've already dealt with the experience. We don't have to worry about like in the live reaction moment.
Yeah. So
So
anyways, let me jump back to what I was saying. What was I saying?
you're saying something about like the service thing about like you're just like giving your piece about like the whole $30 thing.
No, I remember. Oh, okay. So movies, they don't like when they make movies traditionally, like pre-COVID, movies can make a lot of money, but their profit margin like isn't all that big either when you really think about it, because they're getting all their money from the movie theaters, who they pay the movie companies. Like they get paid, say your seat's $7, well maybe $4.50 of that $7 goes to the movie because they give them the rights to play that movie.
Right.
So then the movie studio or whatever, or the movie theater, they only get like $2.50 or whatever per movie or per ticket sold. They don't make a lot based on ticket sales. So I mean, movies they could be making a lot more. The only thing is, I think there's a big disparity between like 7 and 10, or like 12. Let's say 12 if you go to like a fancy.
Edwards or AMC, like, dude, even the most pricey you could like ever pay for a ticket is probably like at least from 12 to 16 at most.
Yeah.
From my experience.
Well, because I mean, I think I go to like this fancy one by us. It used to be called the Krikorian, but now it's called like movie studio grill or something like that. Because they're like, oh, we make food and we bring it to you. Like that's their whole thing.
Oh.
And their seats are really cool. Their seats like they recline and it's really cool. I've like fallen asleep watching movies in there before, but they're a little more pricey, but it's not a lot.
Yeah.
I think there's a big disparity between $7 to $10 and 30, because that implies that your movie must be a masterpiece. It's got to be worth the money. You know what I mean? It's like, do you own that movie from that point? Getting it with the digital thing. I don't think you're buying the movie. You're buying
No,
the
you're
right
not.
to watch it.
You're not. You're just getting like you're just one of the first people to watch it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, like.
And later on, it's technically free.
It gets free. Yeah.
While paying for the service.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. $30 for a movie. I would never pay. I mean, I would have to be like on the inside of something that I know is going to be revolutionary to pay $30 for a movie. I don't think there's anything you can watch in terms of like just art media like that you consume like that, like that's gonna be worth $30 and your time. Like you're gonna walk away from that pissed because you feel like it was too short, and you didn't like get the whole story, like something was missing. It was too long, and you're like, well, that was stupid and convoluted, or you paid too much. You're never gonna get like the perfect balance of, oh, it was just the right amount of money and just the right amount of good. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't think it's worth $30 at all. I think movie places are just trying to make, or movie places. I think Disney trying to make beluga bucks.
Yeah. I have several problems with it. Like, okay, first off, I want to say these are big ass companies who already have billions, I'm assuming, to be making already. Why overcharge the hell out of these things in the first place? Because it, I don't know. It's like the weirdest thing. Like, might as well just make it 10 so that way people could like repeatedly buy it if they want to just watch these things. But like 30? Like, I feel like you're just over asking just to, I don't know, make profits, but saying like, oh, this breaking office and such like that, or breaking box office or whatever. I'm saying like, yeah, you guys freaking overpress the hell out of these damn things in the first place. That's the problem. And sucky thing that I know that I also like thought about was that for some people, where are they gonna get the $30 for like just for themselves to watch it by themselves? Like maybe
Hmm.
okay for a family of freaking 6, 7, and they all split it. Okay, fine, like that. Okay, that makes sense that they all split it all together to watch this movie together, and I guess buy their own stuff. But
Because then it's just like it might be less expensive than actually going to a theater, you know.
right, but when it's just like you and
And
just
pay, then yeah,
like you're already paying on the service, and then you decide to pay by yourself, the 30 all by
that's
on your
fifty
own.
dollars a month that you just paid.
Right, like you just kind of like threw some money out there. Like okay, here's my mindset. Like after like trying to like get used to the digital age, wait until that thing goes on sale, and it'll be so much more worth uh
Your time,
you
your
like
money.
because like I know it's like some movies will be like $30 or $25, 20 just to be coming out like oh like be one of the first to watch it and such like that. Like I think I could get it just because like there's gonna be YouTubers who are gonna like review that shit as fast as possible. So they say like, hey, since like some YouTubers will do this, let's make it pricey as hell, and like of course they have to. So I was thinking, oh shit, I was going great for a moment, but just like having someone like pay $50 a month just because they have like a movie on top of the service, freaking sucks. Like 20, okay, that's like less outrageous, but like as you
Even
said,
still.
at most 10, 10 will have been perfectly fine. 12.99, I don't care.
Okay, I think 20. Okay, I think 15 would be forgivable because I think they may be operating under the assumption that people that subscribe to Disney Plus have families. You know what I mean?
Right.
So in that case, say you have like even the bare minimum of a family, like you, wife, or husband, two people and one baby,
Or
one
three
child.
kids.
Yeah. If you have anywhere from 3 people to 20, they're just thinking like most people aren't alone by themselves, but some people are. And for some people, that's really kind of not worth it.
Especially during this time, it sucks. Like it's freaking COVID time. Like, come on, freaking $30. Like,
Yeah.
it's really tone deaf, in my
It,
opinion.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is, though. I mean, I knew. I was like, damn. Okay, I thought the GameStop stock was gonna go up for different reasons. You know how it did. Like, that whole thing. I
No one
thought
will lose their bet.
I thought it was just like, oh, entertainment, like in general, is gonna be really big during the pandemic. Um, but yeah, it's just that's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I I don't know. I think I lost my train of thought. I had a point to make, but I don't really remember what it was. That's okay though.
That's okay. Yeah. Another thing that I also wanted to point out was, yeah, just I don't know, like for some people, maybe you need to hear this, maybe you don't. Well, it's up to you guys if you want to like listen. But just try to not spend $30 on that premiere. Wait until it actually go on sale and buy that movie and see how you feel differently. Like from buying something for $30 to buying it for like a very cheap price, or just buy it at the base price for like a movie when it's available to buy, and just see how different it feels to just have some money left over in your wallet or card or whatever,
Buy
and
from the
not have to like,
Walmart the bins in there where they just dump tons of movies for $5.
dude, I really love those bins.
Yeah, you
And
can
I thought
find
some
some
I thought
gems
those
in there.
movies.
You can find some gems in there. It's
You really
true.
do. Like they got some really good stuff. Like, and it's just like, for like $5, 10, four, like whatever. And like you said, no movie is gonna be worth $30. Like, oh shit, like if I'm watching Mulan, it better make me learn martial arts along the way. I
Yeah.
better be a martial arts master by the end of it. But of course, it obviously not. But I don't know, man. I just feel like those kind of things are not worth it. Like, just wait it out. I mean, I know some people. I know during this time, like you can get impatient as hell. Like people want to be doing normal stuff already. People want to be enjoying stuff as quickly as possible. But goddamn, sometimes learning how to wait could really be that valuable virtue you didn't know was going to be really helpful during something like this.
I've never thought of that, but that is delayed gratification is really hard right now. It is really hard.
It is.
It's really hard for people to put in like the work right now. It's really hard for people to get that mentality of do this, it'll benefit me later. Because I'm right there. I'm like, I hate everything. I'm going nowhere. Like I hate things that don't give me instant results. Right now, I'm normally not like that too much, but that's weird. Now that you've said it, I'm like, damn. Like that's really true.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing is people know that they can get away with it to an extent because there's okay in times like now, at least in certain places in the United States, because each state is different. Um, I recently went to the Grand Canyon, and out there in Arizona, they do it like it's by county, right? So some places you'll see more people with masks, and other places you'll see. We went to this gas station, and it was like basically the employees weren't wearing any masks. I mean, they had that like they had the I know it's crazy like because living in California, you see like tons and tons of the that would not fly.
Dude,
But like
it goes differently in some towns here in California. Like it's either mask or no mask at all. I'm just thinking like I don't know. I get a bit anxious. Like if I'm not like seeing enough mask being on, then I'm just thinking like, okay, I can't be here like
well,
for long.
I don't mind it too much. I feel personally that it's like um I don't know. I just don't worry about it. I think like okay, I like Arizona the way they did it there because as far as I'm aware, it's like obviously if it's a big thing, then in that community, then you make it like kind of mandated. You have to wear masks at here, there, wherever. We went to the gas station. They had like the shields because every place that I've been now they have like the shields between people. You know what I
Oh,
mean, like the glass things. Um, that's really neat. Everywhere has that now. Some places did, very few, but some did. But now everywhere has it. It's really weird, actually. They're probably just gonna stay up after the pandemic, I imagine. Um,
just be safe, you know. Yeah.
yeah, but what do you call it? I like that approach, but like just because it's like, oh well, if it's not that big of a deal, why inconvenience someone? Because I mean, to be honest with you, it's like there's been times where I've tried to drive to the liquor store, and I'll be like, fuck my mask, and then I'll have to go and drive back. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
I can't get served. Otherwise, people would be like, "Get the fuck out!" I mean, they'll. I've never had that happen or seen it happen. I've seen people get pressed about like, "Do you have a mask? Go get your mask," but not like to that extent. But yeah, these people in Arizona, it was like it was up to them if they thought it was a threat. Some people were wearing it, some people weren't. You know what I mean? Then we went to a grocery store. The grocery store, everyone was wearing masks. I assume that was just the store policy because it's groceries. I imagine,
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
of course.
But yeah, in this time, to get back to like what I was mentioning about it though, like depending on where you're at, there's definitely worse things to be worrying about than I paid $30 for a movie. In some places, it's like more on the serious side than others.
Hmm.
Like I don't know, I go out and about, and when I go running, I don't wear a mask because I'm running. You know what I mean? And it's like, um,
Not like you're
but
getting near people.
no, true. I mean, who is out there running? Not a lot of people are running right now either. I think. I
Maybe
th-
three, 3 or 4 people I know is that run around here from time to time.
yeah,
Not
but
like
I
my block, but like
right.
in different
But
parts
I
of
mean, it used to be more, is what I'm saying. There used to be a lot more people running. It
the
has
city.
scared runners inside. You know what I mean? Maybe they all got treadmills. I don't know. That's what I should do, because the stimmy's coming. Um,
I got
third
my first one.
third you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Alex.
Okay.
Uh, I think I might get a treadmill.
I have one. I still don't use it. I have freaking Just Dance. I still don't use it. I'm a fat fuck
Just
for
Dance
reason.
is hard to do for exercise, though. Like
Yeah,
honestly,
true.
it's so fun as a party game. Like when you got like four or
Old
five
people.
people over and you're just like, let's dance. And you guys are like, you guys don't care about looking stupid with each other. You just
I
do it.
respect
Like,
yourself. It's a different story.
yeah, it's just like, and it's the same moves over and over again. You're just like, and then like, and then you do maybe I don't know, some swaying kind of like if you're doing like a girly dance. I don't know. It's just you sitting there being sad, thinking, how did it get? How did I get here? while you're
Where do these pounds come
while
from?
you're doing the Selena Gomez like dance, looking all pretty, shaking your hips and stuff. You're like, why am I even shaking my hips? I don't need to. Center's not picking up my hips. I'm not getting graded on this. Anyway, though, yeah, I don't know. I think in this time, yeah, there's other things that people are worrying about. I think they're kind of like exploiting the fact that everyone is staying indoors. And maybe they're taking into account that obviously the average person isn't like spending any money at movie theaters, at least not here, because I know, gosh, it's so weird living in like this time in general. But like,
Uh-huh.
okay, so like my friend who lives in he lives closer to Arizona than he lives to us, but he lived in this area beforehand, and he said, "Oh, we're gonna come watch the Godzilla movie. Like I'll go down here and we'll find a theater." I was like, "Bro, like there's nothing's open here yet. Like it's still like nothing. I know lots of places that are going into like partial reopenings and they're reopening certain things like bowling alleys and whatnot.
Or
And
drive show openings.
yeah, and I'm like, we're not even like we're coming down from like a certain tier of lockdown, but we're not like reopening anything. Not really. We barely have hair places open.
It's true.
It's wild. But yeah, I think they're just exploiting. I think they're just like, oh, we can make them pay money. What are they gonna do? Go to a movie theater and see it there? I don't think so.
It's
Do
sad, but
you?
true. Like, yeah, some companies know that. There's just some people who would just spend that $30 because like they don't think about later.
No, yeah,
I think that's why I'm like a bit more cautious about how I spend anything right now because like it's always about the later. I understand like I don't know when I'm gonna like need to help out my family with something. I don't know when I'm gonna need to help out someone else with something. Like I don't know if I'm gonna have to personally help myself out of a situation just because I decided to like what was it called? Shit, like this is how like I don't do this as much treat myself.
yeah.
So I don't know because sometimes like even just like $4 would mean like oh a nice little movie like that's like way below its base price for a discount, but then like that $4 could mean freaking some more gas in the tank.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me ask you something.
All
Do
right.
you think that like Disney will move away from putting their movies in theaters after the pandemic? Well, I say after the pandemic. I don't know. In some places, there's not even a pandemic anymore. Some places are like, just it depends. Because I mean, with more vaccines, with more people getting vaccinated and stuff, like it is less of a threat, definitely, than it was before. I'll say that for sure. But like, do you think that Disney is going to move away from distributing their films into movie theaters? Do you think they'll? Because honestly, as dumb as it sounds, as dumb as it might, like we might think it is, I could see the Disney people, those big eggheads who are always hatching up these great ideas. I could see them thinking like, "Oh, you know what we should do is we should keep the movies here exclusively, and people will still keep paying $30." Because here's the thing: I feel like pre-pandemic there was no possibility of that. Like
Right.
there was no way that that would happen. You know what I mean? Disney Plus was just barely a thing before the pandemic. You know what I mean?
I'm
Um,
sorry. Can you hear my dog snoring?
no, I can't.
Okay, thank God. Okay, go on.
Um, but pre-pandemic, that definitely wouldn't happen. They wouldn't even consider that. But now I'm thinking they might think they could get away with it. You know? I don't know. I think Disney might. I'm not saying like they will. I'm saying there's a possibility, at least a very small one, that Disney will decide to try to play fast and loose like that. Um, and not let like theaters carry their movies when they reopen. Maybe they will, I don't know. But I kind of feel like Disney might think that they own the world, you know?
Yeah, that big monopoly thing, like, cause the moment they bought Fox, I believe it was Fox, I was thinking like, oh snap, more of their stuff is gonna. I mean, more stuff that we usually think is like its own thing is gonna be under Disney now, like Marvel and yeah, they bought DC. Oh my God, that's it. They
I
have
gotta
actually have a lot of power there.
I gotta say, like the people that aren't being bought up at Disney, they have balls. I respect them because like obviously, like Disney throws around a lot of money, you know. I hope to be a creator one day. I'm working on an animated series. I think I've told you that. Maybe I haven't. I don't know, but I'm working on an animated series. I'm not like animating it, but like
Yeah,
I have the concept. I'm writing it out and everything. Um, I think intellectual property, just from what I've seen with Star Wars in particular, they ruined Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah,
okay, I still like Star Wars. I still like those Star Wars movies. I like them the least of any Star Wars movie, but I would watch them. I won't go looking for them. Like I won't be like, you know what I'm in the mood to watch right now? The Last Jedi. Like I won't be like that. Uh, but I would watch it if it came on. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I would still watch it as part of Star Wars. Like to me, even though they're trying to retcon it and stuff, I'd still consider it like whatever. Um, but intellectual property, you should keep that stuff. You shouldn't let Disney have it, or anyone for that matter, because I think that George Lucas is really sad. I think he thinks that they ruined Star Wars, which
I
they
think,
did.
I think,
But
yeah, like I'm pretty sure he does feel like that.
yeah, and I'm not going to hold that against him because honestly, if someone came and offered me millions and they said, all you have to do is let us have this, because they probably give him so much money, he doesn't need to do anything ever again. He's probably set for like generations, his
Mhm.
family, and I don't know, dude. Like, it kind of scares me that they buy so much. They're such a greedy company. It could become like, you know,
Monopoly.
Disney World, like Earth becomes Disney. You know what I mean?
Oh, geez, imagine that.
Like Elon Musk is taking us to Mars, and then we look back like 50 years, like we see the Earth from Mars, and we're like, hey, when did the Earth get those two black ears? And it's just Mickey ears like on the side of the Earth. They did
Yeah,
it in
that's
just the
true.
right way that it's like it's always facing you. Where like maybe it's at the side depending on what's angled at, but day or night you just see the Mickey ears. That'd be insane. But yeah, bro. Disney's crazy. I kind of feel like they might do some shit like that. I don't know.
To answer your question, I think they would still keep the streaming platform, but would still try to put their movies in theaters again, just because like, well, there's always gonna be a market for that, I think, or there's gonna still be those Disney fanatics that want to watch those movies in
Yeah.
theaters. So it's just like that experience thing. So yeah, I think they could do both, and considering they could see money in both areas, I'm pretty sure they would do it.
I feel you.
But
I could see it going either way. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just, it's weird. But yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I don't have much more to say other than just like the whole right now, like the whole digital era thing is kind of like really screwed up, and I think for a time it was going really well, but then once like COVID hit and like now a lot of streaming platforms are like trying to like take advantage of the time, like it's really fucking grim.
I will say, if it gets like too crazy, too out of hand, I think that the government will step in, because they've done that at times with like video games and like random shit, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Why
and
do these games? I don't know why.
I don't know, bro, but like my knowing that, like, it could mean like some litigation, some rules that have to be followed, like, oh, you're not gonna screw over your, like, in some capacity,
Yeah.
um only thing is, you know again, not to get overly political, but a lot of times, like, when they get into the realm of like video games, Facebook, even, you remember the Facebook trial, they don't know what the fuck, like, they don't know what Facebook's about, they don't know how it works. You think they're gonna know how like Disney Plus works or anything like that? They're gonna be asking some really stupid. Oh my gosh, I don't know. It could be one of those situations. I would at least appreciate, because like, I don't know, it's complicated. I feel like to an extent there's nothing to stop them from screwing us over if they wanted to, which they don't, because obviously if they did they'd lose tons of money, so they don't want to.
Yeah.
But they could. And what if they decided to later down the line, I don't know. I think I'd like some system in place to make sure that I own it somehow, some way. That if I purchase something online or whatever, that I will have it forever.
Right.
But then
That's
again,
why.
at the same time, I don't know, because it's like, okay, take Steam, because Steam's like one of those online things, right? I do not feel threatened that my Steam game is going to disappear.
But it can't get censored.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen, because I've heard like, if you've bought like those keys, like random keys to games, some of them you can't get anymore. Like the games, they like the product key or whatever, like the game, they don't sell them on Steam anymore. Like, that does happen from time to time, but it's not so much. I trust Steam with my digital purchases. I think that Steam will have it around for a long time. And with Steam being there and doing such a good job, it encourages other companies to like treat us well in addition, because like, take the Epic Store as an example. If they're just deleting our shit, or letting it happen, because
Yeah.
I understand an accident, say like, oh, hang on guys, our servers are down, let us fix this, we got it, like, that's fine, because that can happen. But like, if they're just like, oops, sorry, you bought it, you don't own it, fuck you, then we're just all going to be like, well, fuck you, it's all, that'll make us go to Steam. We have options, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's why it's kind of good to like for the game market, like all these different publishers or different companies that at least that are trying to compete. Competition is good. That's
yeah,
why like for Disney Plus and like every other streaming platform, like there is a bit of competition, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it because they're all like
they're all kind of doing their own thing, to be honest. It doesn't feel like competition too much.
That's why like again, maybe it's just the niche part of streaming platforms that's making people like, well, gotta pay this much. That's fine because well, it's not like I have this other option that's cheaper.
You know what's weird?
What's up?
WWE was like one of the first people to do that too. I think there was like Netflix and then Hulu, or Hulu, Netflix, and WWE Network. I think WWE did it like way before Disney did their Disney thing, and That's weird to think about that they have a streaming service and it's 9.99. Well, it was. I don't know about anymore, but it was 9.99. That's not bad if you're a big wrestling fan.
It's not, and plus you
And it
got.
comes with all the pay-per-views and stuff. Like, actually, that sounds like a good. Why am I not? Anyway.
I asked my girl like what the price was, but yeah, it's honestly for what I've seen and well just watched. Yeah, the matches, the pay-per-views yeah, you get the pay-per-views and you got like a lot of old school matches, so that's pretty good.
I used to watch like exclusively WrestleMania, and I like the pay-per-views because they let their skills show. Like if you watch wrestling, Monday Night Raw, is it Thursday night now or is it still Friday night? Whenever night SmackDown.
Monday. Now you got me confused. Fuck.
I think because I know it was Friday night, and then I thought they moved it to Thursday night, and I'm not sure if they moved it. I don't know.
No, they're adding different. They're adding different.
Shows like different.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's still Monday and Friday, at least for the main things we know, like Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown.
right. But shoot, I mean, like, I had a thought. What was I thinking? Give me a second. Oh, if you watch the pay-per-view, like Monday night, if you watch just like a regular show, they're kind of all the same thing, at least to me. Talking about WWE, because wrestling is a whole different like topic to get into, and all these different kinds of wrestling shows have different sorts of wrestling and wrestling styles. But like, you know, you watch Raw, you watch SmackDown, you get much of the same finishes, the same moveset, the same everything, same movement speed, everything. You know, I mean, the same showmanship. Yeah. Then on the pay-per-views, they go balls to the wall. They go so fast, and because you know how they cut their like their blows and stuff. They don't like a drop kick to the face isn't necessarily like full blown like like it's not, you know, but like they make it close in the pay-per-views and stuff.
They do. Like I noticed it like a bit more impressive than like the other like
yeah,
just
they're way safer on a normal, but that goes to show the skill level they have. They can come so close, you know what I mean? It's just it's really neat. They're impressive performers for sure. But yeah, are you hyped for Paramount Plus? Because
mainly for SpongeBob, but at the same time, like I other than SpongeBob, yes, I still watch SpongeBob, people, but like trust me, I am not a fan of how Camp Coral looks. But with that out of the way, SpongeBob is probably what is gonna mainly appeal to me. For some reason, I thought it was gonna be on the Nickelodeon app, which is free. I was like, all right, cool. Like I watch SpongeBob on that, but like it's not on there. I was like, what is this bullshittery?
That's why.
And then I was like, it's on Paramount Plus. I'm like,
okay,
motherfuckers.
Actually, if it's like, does Paramount own Nickelodeon? Like, is it like a parent company of them or something? Because if so, if they bring back Jimmy Neutron, if they have those episodes, then I will subscribe to it. I don't even care. For Jimmy Neutron alone, I will. I love Jimmy Neutron.
You said if Paramount Plus owned Nickelodeon?
Yeah, or vice versa. Or they like are one of them like a parent company, you know?
Yeah, parent company Nickelodeon.
Okay, so Nickelodeon owns Paramount. So it's probably all Nickelodeon stuff. Because I was like, why doesn't Nickelodeon start their own streaming service? Because Disney did it. And like, I could even see Cartoon Network having some success with it if they bring back like their whole archive. You know what I mean?
I was actually, I also downloaded the Cartoon Network app as well on the Xbox, and I was thinking like the selections are ass. Like where's the good stuff? Like
where's the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Captain Flapjack, Chowder,
exactly.
Ed and Eddie, lots of stuff. They had a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, so
they're all slacking. Like I don't know, maybe they're just afraid to dip their, because it is kind of like it is scary. I mean, okay, Disney worked because they're Disney. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
To an extent. I mean, they have good stuff. They brought out like The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian's like really good. You know, they have some originals they're throwing out that are pretty nice, but it worked initially because they're Disney. If they were any other company, it would have been a lot riskier. Disney knew they were going to make money from it. one
I
way or
think they're
another.
still trying to make sales. Like, I feel like they're still trying to catch up to make those sales. So I'm saying, like,
Mhm.
how the hell is Disney of all things trying to like catch up? But I think it's more because like I don't know, because I think like just like everything is just a bit hard for them at the moment because like their Disney parks are off or some are still open, but like some are mainly down, and then well most of their usual sales are now like going as well. So I'm just
Yeah,
thinking, who knows? Because the Roman Empire fell someday, so
I
who knows what
mean,
happen with Disney someday as well.
yeah, it's weird. It's weird to think about, but like one day, probably Disney will be like one of those names where it's like on, like 20th Century Fox films as an example. You know, dun, 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 dun,
Uh,
dun. Like it used to mean something, kind of like that label. You're like, oh, this is going to be a pretty good movie for the most part, by and large. Uh, it'll probably be like that, where it's kind of like a relic, or like or um, Weinstein Productions, and I know that's like really yikes after all the this finding out all the stuff that he did. That's yikes. But some really good movies have that logo at the beginning, and I'm like, it's weird now because I'll watch them and I'll be like, because it just pops up like Weinstein Productions, and I'm like, I'm
it's
like
just one of those
that's
weird moments where now you just gotta just know that you have to separate the creation from the creator.
yes, exactly.
Because like
He did
uh,
some bad shit. That doesn't mean like, yeah,
yeah, because it's just like like for other things, like you could accidentally enjoy this thing that someone has made and then find out the person is a freaking terrible person, and
hmm
we got some
yeah,
we
yeah,
got like a World War monster, so we're not gonna like mention him, but
definitely.
yeah, but yeah, it's just those kind of moments like where you just gotta like realize yourself like don't worry, like as long as you're not like trying to like actively support this person, I think you're gonna be okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, I really want to get the Harry Potter game that's gonna be coming out in the future, but
There's a
I don't
Harry
want to
Potter game
support
coming out.
Huh?
There's a Harry Potter game coming out. What? What do
It's
you?
coming out like someday it's gonna be coming out, and I can't
What
wait for it.
game? Like, is it an MMO? Like, because that'd be
Well, thank
sick.
God, no. I mean, I
I'd
hope
make my Hufflepuff boy, and I would do Hufflepuff things. Probably
you
just
can
sit in
make
the
your own
corner.
character. I mean, you can make your own students, so that's the great thing.
Mm.
You get to decide your own fate a bit, and I think you're in your third or fourth year though. But either way, you're gonna be doing your own thing, and that's kind of, like an RPG. So that's what I'm like really hyped about.
I would beat the shit out of Harry if I see him.
I mean, I think it's like a
Like,
couple,
not even with magic. I'll just punch him.
some years after he gets out, I think, or
Probably. They probably won't have
no, no,
him.
no, several years like before he comes into the school. Unless I'm mistaken, the mobile game. Fuck the mobile game, by the way. But
The one that made you pay for like, well, it didn't make
energy.
you, but it highly encouraged you. Like, hey, yeah,
Like, hey, you want some gems? Oh, you gotta pay. Or like, oh, you want some energy to complete this
you want to do
task?
something? You want to play this game? Buy this energy. Yeah,
I freaking hate that mobile game. But
yeah,
I just know that this game is gonna be an RPG, and I know it's something that I'm gonna be really having fun with in the
dude, that
future.
that makes me excited then.
Yeah, I can't
But
wait. But yeah, other than that, I don't think I have much else to say about this kind of thing.
not I either. I don't believe. Ooh. Yeah, not I either. Not
Yeah.
I either.
All right, then guess we covered all the grounds, huh?
I guess so. Let me try something real quick.
All right, for sure.
Oh, that's stupid. That is so stupid. I thought it was gonna pop up on like your screen and everything. It just shows over mine. That's so stupid.
Huh? That's a strange reacting. I
I'm
mean,
upset. My day is ruined. Wait, what does Review Brass say? My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. That's right.
exactly. You
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, got it all covered. All right, then for everyone listening, thank you for listening. Like going on different kind of tangents that were actually pretty deep
Oh yeah.
throughout the whole video, and uh, if you want, let us know if you're listening on a podcast. Let us know through the voice messages. I'll leave the link. And if you're listening on YouTube, hey, why not comment below like how you personally feel about the whole streaming platform stuff.
And the birds.
Yes, the birds too. Nathan, is there anything you want to plug in or not?
No.
No.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well then, anything you want to say at least for any last words?
Yeah. To those who made it like all this way listening and stuff, thank you. Well, for those of you that made it anywhere, even if you left midway through and you're not hearing this, thank you anyway. We appreciate you guys listening. It means a lot to us.
Oh yeah. And I want to say thank you all for taking a chance on this podcast. If you're new, hey, welcome, and we hope you can stick around. And if you're been a long time listener and been still trying to support, thank you so much for. Holy crap! This is like episode 23 now. Episode 24. I don't know. I'm losing count. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, time goes by fast. But
Mhm.
yeah, thank you. And if you want to support the podcast, if you are listening on our podcast, leave a review or rate it. And if on YouTube, like, even dislike if you want, and comment or share it with your friends or anything like that. Just, I don't know, interact. It's completely cool with us. We don't mind. But that being said, I'm your host Alejandro Ortiz, and you listen to a random Gamers Corner. And thank you, and good night.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.